Hello guys, welcome back to DSFR. Today I'm going to be talking about the All-Star ballot, my All-Star ballot, and guys who I think should go in. This list doesn't include pitchers. I might make a separate video about pitchers for the All-Star game, but I'm really focusing on position players here. So we'll start with NL here, and we'll start at first base. It was a tough one because there was lots of guys, Zimmerman, Votto, um, Bohr, a lot of guys like that. But I picked Goldschmidt just because he has great stats. WAR is great. I really think he's the main contributor to why the Arizona Coyotes, not the Arizona Coyotes, the Diamondbacks are competitive this year, and he's the main reason. I don't know why people vote Rizzo. I don't know how many bandwagon Cubs fans are out there, but Rizzo's not having a good year. Yeah, he was hot a couple weeks ago, but he's been cold, or not cold. He's just been even for the past like week or so. I don't know why a 250 average deserves to be in the All-Star game. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but my pick is Goldschmidt for the first baseman. Second baseman, it's really not a contest here. It's Daniel Murphy. An average of 339, 14 home runs, 55 RBIs, and a 1.7 WAR. He's been great. He's one of the main contributors to why the Nationals' offense is so lethal. I mean, without them, they'll probably be a wild card team. But well, they'll still lead the division, but they would be a wild card team caliber, like the amount of wins. But I think Murphy is doing great for that team. Him and Bryce Harper, the offense is really carrying him there, and it's fun to watch though. So that's my second baseman slot. For shortstop, I have Zach Cozart. He's been great. An average of 320, 9 home runs and 33 RBIs, with 2.9, or not 2.19, a 2.9 WAR. Cozart has been very clutch for them. Been very good, very steady for them. Lots of at bats and a great average, and that's what you want to see. Zach Cozart is having a breakout year, having a fantastic year. And it just shows, man. He's been really good, and you can't deny that. And I think he deserves to be in the All-Star game, either benched or starting. He deserves to be in either way. For third base, please, bandwagon Cubs fans, get out of here. It has to be Nolan Arenado. Chris Bryant isn't doing great, and it's Arenado's turn, thankfully. He deserves to be in there. An average of 294. That isn't fantastic, but he has a lot of at bats. I think he has over 300, which is a lot. The All-Star break, 15 home runs and 61 RBIs with 3.1 WAR. He's been great for the Rockies. He's been hitting really well. In my eyes, he's the best third baseman in the league. But I mean, there's some good candidates for that. But in my eyes, I think he's the best third baseman in the league. But all around, at least, like he's gonna get another Gold Glove and everything. Man, he's just a phenomenal guy to watch. And he has been lighting it up this year. So that's my pick at third base. On the outfield, I'll list off my three guys. Marcell Ozuna, an average of 315, 20 home runs and 54 RBIs for 3.0 WAR. He's been great for the Marlins. Even though the Marlins haven't been great, he's been a really great shining spot in that lineup, man. He has been amazing for them. Really clutch, a lot of bombs, and he's hitting for a really good average. You can't deny that he really deserves to be in the All-Star game. That's a breakout game for him, or not breakout game, breakout season for him. And I think that, like, he deserves it just because I've been predicting that he would have a breakout year these past couple of years. It finally happened, and it's fun to watch because I love Marcell Ozuna. Second outfield position, I have Charlie Blackmon, an average of 314, 16 home runs and 56 RBI for 2.4 WAR. Blackman's been a great leadoff batter for them. Getting on base is key for them. That's why the Rockies are so competitive. And he's been a major contributor. Blackman's just been amazing for them. I don't think he'll stop. I think he'll just keep going. I can't really see him stopping. And he's a lock in my opinion. I think he's just unbelievable, and he's really good in their outfield position. For the third, I have Bryce Harper, an average of 319, 18 home runs and 58 RBI for 2.7 WAR. And these look like in the 2.5, it's still amazing WAR. Like keep that going. That's a 5 WAR at the end of the season, and that's elite. But I think Bryce Harper, him and Daniel Murphy have been carrying the Washington Nationals, and he's had another MVP type year, and he had a down year last year, but I think it was a lock that he would have another breakout year this year, and that he would come back to his own self. And I think he's vastly underrated, or not underrated, but people were super skeptical of him last year, and he's finally come out, and like people are just shoving him aside, saying, "Oh, he's just doing well." But I think that he's had one of the best years of his career, and maybe one of the best for his career of all time. Who knows? But Bryce Harper is a lock for pretty much everybody's lineup. I don't know how you put him out of your outfield starting lineup, but that's my pick at third outfield position, which will probably likely be right field. But at center position, I have Buster Posey. He's had a great year. An average of 344, 10 home runs and 33 RBIs for 2.9 WAR. I mean, he had a slow start, but he has been phenomenal the past couple of months. Like he has been one of the best players in the game, I'd say, in like the last month or so. But I mean, he has to be the starting catcher. There's really nobody else that could compete on that level, at least for Buster Posey. He's been amazing. The home runs aren't there, but the average is certainly there. So that's going to round out the NL here. Let's switch to the AL. And at first base, I have Eric Hosmer, a 305 average of 305, 9 home runs and 32 RBIs for 0.8 WAR. I think he's got the pedigree, and I think that he'll get in. I think that he's been having a great year. He hasn't had that many at bats going in the sub 200, but he's still going to be great. He's still having a great season. So I don't know. There's some other options at first base, but I think that Eric Hosmer will get picked in my eyes. But you could make some arguments for other guys. At second base, there really is no argument. Jose Altuve, an average of 327, 11 home runs, and 38 RBIs for 3.7 WAR. He's been great for them. I believe that I wouldn't say he's carrying the Astros, but he is the main contributor for them, and he's just getting on base all the time. He's getting runs batted in all the time, and he's been clutch for them. This is what the franchise needed after last year, not making the playoffs, but he's really just lining up, and you can't argue with that. So at shortstop, this is bound to be my most controversial pick, but I think Elvis Andrus deserves to be the starter for the All-Star game, at least the bench. You could make an argument for Correa, but I'd say Andrus deserves it. Andrus has more at-bats, for one, and I think his WAR is more than Correa's. I could check that, though, but I think that Andrus deserves it. He's been pretty hot these past couple of weeks. I don't know. Correa, he's kind of been... I mean, he lit it up in May, and now he's kind of steady. But you could definitely. I'm fine with Correa starting the shortstop, but I think Andrew should at least get into the bench for the All Star game. I think he's been having a great season, underratedly, honestly. Um, be on this pace, 20 home runs at the end of the season for Andrews, that would be great. But I think he deserves it, definitely, and so that's my pick at shortstop. At third base, uh, no, not. I wouldn't say there's not a lot of competition, but you can't. I can't see anybody picking anybody else but Jose Ramirez. Um, he's been amazing for Cleveland. Like we all knew Jose Ramirez was good, but he he's an elite player now in most people's eyes, just because a 3.21 average, 36 RBIs, 12 home runs, and a 2.6 WAR. I think that he has been great for them, getting on base all the time with that average. He's been really underrated this season, and I think he definitely deserves to be the starter there. I can't see anybody else being the starter, and I think that he'll have to be slot in there. But he's been great for the Cleveland Indians. At the outfield positions, I have Josh Reddick. Not the first one, but if I had to pick, he would be in left field. But Josh Reddick, average of 3.09, 8 home runs, and 32 RBIs for 2.0 WAR. He's been pretty decent. Having a bad year in last year for the Dodgers. I mean, he was decent for the Athletics, but bad for the Dodgers. But he's been really good for the Astros. I kind of predicted that because I think he needed to change the scenery that wasn't California, you know. But he's been great for the Astros. He's been knocking guys in. He's been getting on base, and that's really what you want, what you're paying him for, really. And I think he's been doing good. Who knows? Maybe, I mean, I wouldn't say this is a flash of his 2013 self, but hopefully, I mean, I guess with the Astros, but and I can't really say hopefully, but all I'm saying is that I'd like to see him, because when the A's were good, of course I'm a Rangers fan. I hated the A's, but I actually really like Josh Reddick. I loved him as a player. I really hope he recaptures that play style because I loved him when he was that 2013-2014 area. And he was a really great player, but he has been doing pretty decent this season, and I have him at left field. At center, Mike Trout, he's come back from an injury. He didn't have that many at-bats, an average of 3.37, 16 home runs, and 36 RBI, and, you know, he would have probably been at like 50 RBI, maybe 20 home runs if he was healthy, but now that he is healthy, I'm sure that he'll get to the All-Star game, and I mean, you can't leave Mike Trout out of the All-Star game. And there really isn't much more to say about that, so that's my guy at center field. And at right field, I have Aaron Judge, really. You can't really say anybody else. Average of, I think it was like 3.37 or something like that. 27 home runs and 62 RBIs for 4.9 WAR. Like, that is elite, man. Super amazing for the Yankees. Are their best player by far. And he definitely deserves to be in the All-Star game, definitely. In the catcher position, I have Salvador Perez. It really wasn't an amazing player in the catcher position for the American League this year, but Salvador Perez is having another solid season, an average of 2.89, 16 home runs, and 48 RBIs for 1.7 WAR. He's been great for them. He's under the radar for his batting because he's actually pretty decent batting wise, but I think he is having another solid season under the radar, but I think he deserves it, definitely. And in the DH position, I have Corey Dickerson. I didn't even know he was having this good of a year, man. An average of 3.33, 17 home runs, and 39 RBI for 3.1 WAR, and he has like 300 at-bats, and he has been amazing for the Rays. Great DH, guy off the bench maybe, but 3.33 average, you cannot deny that, man. He has been brilliant for them. And I think he definitely deserves it. He's batting really well, really well. Coming up clutch too. I mean, 17 home runs is nothing to laugh at the All-Star break, and I think he deserves it. There are some great other options, of course. But I think he deserves it, definitely. So that is going to be it for today. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. If you guys really enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.